Or what's up, Speed Souls? Welcome back. How about that amazing relay race? 10 hours of continuous Speedy Souls and Elden Ring and Bloodborne shenanigans. Congratulations to both teams. That was really incredible to watch. I'm Carter. I'm going to take over hosting for a little bit here, and we are going to get right into it with a run of Stray. We're going to do 100% of the game, and it's unrestricted, so we're going to get to see some cool glitches and skips performed by our runner, Chakrams. How's it going, Chakrams?
Yeah, it's going great, man. How's everyone going?
I'm doing good. And we also, on commentary, have Lorinda, Passere, and Satori Earth, if you guys want to say hey really quick.
Hey.
Hello.
And I think without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on this run as soon as you're ready, Chakrams, and we can start to kind of intro stuff as we get going.
Yeah, for sure. So let's give like an introduction to this game. This game is all about a stray cat that gets lost from its family, and all we have to do is get back to the family. But on the way, we found like an apocalyptic world full of robots, and we're gonna follow the story of the cat trying to get back to its family. So it's kind of an emotional story right there to start with. So about the run is gonna be like 100% run, unrestricted, which is like you have to collect all the memories. There's like a collectible in the game called memories, and the badges, which is like quests you have to do during the game. So we have to get every single one of them, and it's unrestricted. So we're gonna see some glitches, some skips, some out of bounds stuff. So get excited for that. So are we gonna start the timer anytime soon? Cause
as soon as you're ready, just let them know when to start the timer and we can get going.
Okay. So on my mark, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, and if you've not seen this before, this game about lovable cats for children, you're going to enjoy about the first 5 minutes because it's terrifying. I don't know how this happened.
Hey, at least we get to start off with some adorable, like just kitty time.
Yeah, you just get to be a cat. You just get to play with
that's the
cats.
best part about it.
It really is. It just turns really dark.
Nice long opening cinematic.
Okay, we've got about 5 minutes before we need to talk about that, so just enjoy the adorable getting to be a cat and nestling up against all the other kitties.
I love that there's cardboard for the cats to sleep on. Very realistic.
Yeah.
So this is what happens to a cardboard box with 4 cats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right off the bat right now, there's gonna be our first skip in this game right now, which is the first cutscene. So, Basier, can you tell us about this glitch, if you know about it?
Yeah, so this is called nap skip because what you're supposed to do is go to sleep with your friends on this piece of cardboard. But there's a way to skip that so you don't go to sleep at all, and then it also skips the opening cutscene. So Chakrams is going to line it up so that he gets the prompt to go to sleep, but he'll actually be stuck behind this black cat here. And so when that happens, the cat is just going to keep circling instead of going to sleep. And then because you don't go to sleep, like I said, something in the game gets messed up and it never starts the cutscene that you're supposed to see. So then you start the next scene at the top with none of your friends around you, which is a little lonely.
So we're supposed to have a cutscene here, but I'm running around freely.
You're supposed to have a cutscene to go all the way to the bottom, but because there's no cutscene, we have to do it ourselves. So you're really not supposed to be in this area at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game's actually supposed to just like force the cat to do this all on its own, scripted, instead of you having control here.
Saves about 1 minute, I believe. So definitely worthwhile.
And you do have to be careful at the bottom there because there's a way to start the cutscene at the bottom if you get too close to the cats. Then you have to do the whole
actually
thing
know
again.
about that.
Oh no.
That would have been a horrible way to find out about it the first time, triggering it in a marathon.
Yeah, also on the PS, which is where we're playing, this is a slightly more consistent skip than doing it on the PC, where you have to actually sort of fall through the sky and get to the bottom that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been successful with that, so I'm not doing it, unfortunately.
That one's a pain. Sometimes you just fall into the void.
Yeah, I prefer to
Which
do it
hopefully
the
won't
normal
happen this
way.
run. And so that, since this is 100%, that is the only cutscene skip you'll see in this game, in this run. There are some other cutscene skips, but this is 100%. We need all the cutscenes.
Yeah, because every cutscene actually gives you a memory you have to collect.
And there's 27 memories and 6 badges.
Yep.
And so now we get to that part.
Everybody hide. Look through your fingers
look
at this part. Terrible.
It's the worst part.
Yeah, the meows here are just it's heartbreaking.
Yeah,
it's brutal.
That's alright though, we'll find our friends and it'll all be okay, right?
You should
Nothing else will go wrong.
Kitty, no.
We had a question in chat about whether or not we do the entirety of something called nap skip. Does somebody want to explain what nap skip is and why we do or don't do it?
Yeah, so nap skip was the thing at the beginning, and there is a second part of it where you can like go out of bounds through the pipes. That one you risk, like I said, falling into the void and then having to just restart, which is a bit of a pain.
And it's pretty hard to line up on PS5 because I'm playing on a PS5 right now.
Yeah.
I guess it's a bit easier on PC.
There'd be more chance of falling into the void and more chance of just getting stuck.
Yeah. Because you essentially have to go out of bounds and then inside bounds again. So going inside bounds again is the harder part.
Yeah. You would think getting out of bounds is the hard part, but no, not in this game.
Yep.
Right there, we just got our first little glimpse of some strange little creature. Don't know what they are there.
Let's find out. It's okay, guys. This cat has magic licks. It's all better.
Yep. The 9 lives. It's not a lie.
Absolutely love that. That was a trophy treatment.
Oh, right, it was. The cat's never given a name in this game. It's just the cat.
Oh yeah,
the first scene is called Blue, which I've always assumed refers to the sky, but I've seen some people think that might be the name of the cat, because the language is actually translatable. So.
Well, there's no canon name for the cat in-game, but it's based off of an actual stray that the devs got, and that cat's name is Murtaugh.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I don't know about you guys, but what do you guys call the cat for your runs? I let my chat when I was first routing and doing my initial runs of the game vote on the name, and we ended up going with May after the cat protagonist from the game Night in the Woods.
The way I control the cat, it's called Stupid Cat most of the time.
Well, this is gonna be our second glitch or out of bounds.
Oh yeah, second skip. Really? So
nice.
Yeah, that's what happened. You clip through that window right there.
Basically, the bucket can push you off the edge there, and just you fall right through the window instead of having to wait and jump down, which takes multiple jumps and wastes some time.
Yeah, exactly. So you're supposed to kick the bucket down to break the window and then go into the window, but you can just clip through it that way.
There is another skip there which no sane person will ever do on an important run. but it saves about 8 seconds if you hit it, where you jump to the top left and all the props will bounce, and sometimes about once in 20 fall through the window and save you a few seconds.
Oh, right. I saw about that as well. But it's so RNG heavy because you don't have any control over the physics in the game.
Yeah, if we get to the point where the world record is like 4 people 1 second apart, we might see them going for it. But until that day arrives, I don't think we'll ever see it done in a run.
Yeah. This is our very first chase section.
So these enemies are called Zergs. And they are going to try to kill our cat friend. And this is a lot scarier on PlayStation than it is on PC. Because on PC you can bind this button that Chakrams using, you can bind it to scroll wheel, so you just get like tons and tons of inputs. But this is on PlayStation, so he is furiously mashing and trying to avoid them as much as possible.
Yeah. Are they easy to avoid on PS? It always looks like, I mean, obviously I'd rather have the PC where I can just scroll wheel it, but are they actually slightly easier? It feels like the Zergs get you less often on the PS.
Not at all. You get hit a bunch. I tend to take a pretty straight line here myself. And just spam on certain spots, and then there's other spots where I know I'm going to get hit a little less, so I just try to watch the Zerks and time, because if you time a perfect meow for right when it's going to hit your back, it pops off instantly instead of having that little bit of delay and needing to have that shake animation.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Hey, we did all of this without it clinging onto the ledge once, which is pretty good.
Yeah,
these platforms here are annoying. As you might have noticed, you can't just free jump in this game. You have to get a prompt in order to jump on something. So it's all about lining everything up properly so that you jump on the right thing.
Yeah, that's something we should talk about quite a bit, actually, because it's like, oh, well, if you just wait till the thing lights up and press the button, why isn't it easy? Well, turns up there's so many jumps that you don't see on the screen and that sort of thing. It can actually just be a nightmare if you're not in the exact right spot at the right time. For speedrunning, at least.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of positioning and manipulation to optimally get both the jump you want and get it as fast as possible, and also avoid some of the animations. There's certain jumps where if you jump from too far back or whatnot, the cat will actually have like a shorted animation where it'll have to pull itself up onto the ledge instead of jumping cleanly on its feet.
Yeah. And that just happened.
But yeah, on the region where everybody always has it happen, including the world record, you didn't get it, so you're doing pretty good on that, too. So you are the world record holder, so I'm talking PC world record. Yeah.
Yeah, but not many people are actually running that category I'm running right now.
Hey, you're the world record holder. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Somebody beats you.
At least I'm hoping this run will get some people back into the 100% unrestricted.
Yeah, I think this is a really cool category, but there really aren't a lot of people that run it.
All right, Chakrams, you got to give us a meow here. Give us some nodders on that camera. There
I
it
think
is.
that the reason that the glitchless any is the main category for this is because they put the achievement in the game for like 2 hours speedrun for actually just Steam achievements. And that got a lot of people, like myself, actually, into the game, which is, I've always wanted to speedrun but don't know where to start. And it kind of got people into it, so that became the go-to category, I think.
Yeah, it's really awesome how many people are
perfect
new to speedrunning and started with this game. Or, I mean, even just like the sheer number of people that submitted for this game is really awesome.
Yeah, it's a great way to get your feet wet with speedrunning too. It's a very, very welcoming and cozy run to pick up.
Except for the beginning where you get your heart ripped out every time.
But you know,
you
just kind of shut the brain down and tune out for that.
I can't tune it out.
That's when I read chat. It's perfect.
Yeah, we're leaving the low-hanging fruit for chat here. Yeah. We're far more mature than that here in the commentary desk.
Well, we get our first glimpse at P12 here, our companion during the run. We're gonna learn more about him.
Yeah, we actually will learn more about him in this run because we don't skip everything like in any percent.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true.
On the PC, you just like boop, zzz, boop, boop, boop. That's what we know about him.
Yep. Because on PC again, that goes back to the scroll wheel. You can bind the text to scroll wheel and just like absolutely blow through the text immediately. But you get to see a glimpse of it here.
Yeah, we saw the word scientist, and I mean, there's something about a scientist.
All right, chat. Try to construct the lore of this game just based on what you see in the speedrun.
Oh yeah, do that absolutely.
There will be a quiz at the end of the run.
Winner gets to donate to charity.
And did I see someone in chat say I have an American voice? I am very offended by that.
3748. I always forget my codes, man.
And this run has so many of them is the problem.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess, yeah, the 100%. I'm so used to glitchless where it's only the 2 and the 1 you can verify again on the wall quickly.
Right.
The Seamus one, you can actually just see it while you're doing the numbers.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I pulled you up on stream the other day on that, but yeah, I thought I'd laugh instead.
The seam is cool, yeah.
Yeah,
This
every
is the
time I
very
come
first-
back after a break, I always panic on this door. I'm just like, wait, what is it?
There are, for chat spaces, there are a lot of cutscene skips we're not using, obviously, because it's 100%. You need to get the memories, but basically, if you unleash or unsheath or whatever you do to B12 to get him out of your backpack, exactly as you get to the cutscene, it does skip them on basically every level.
Yeah. There's 2 ways to call B12 out, is the flashlight, this one, and there's like a help button. The help button, like, you can talk to the B12 and he gives you hits about what is the puzzle you have to solve.
You'll also see that Chakrams has B12 out most of the time for apparently no reason, but it cuts down on the time beginning an interaction with the character. So if you click on a character to talk to them, B12 has to pop out, so you just pop B12 out before you get there and save. Very little time, but it's dozens and dozens of interactions over the course of the game, so it does add up.
Yeah, even in glitchless, that adds up to a few seconds by the end of the run. Just having B12 at the ready instead of having to have that animation play.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the glitched guardian.
Yep, I was gonna say, like, if you get here pretty quickly, this guardian should play an animation at the door where he closes it, but because I came pretty quick, he played that animation already and he's sitting and chilling early.
And
we
now you can
get a
meow
smile.
him. Yeah.
Yep, you get a smile.
That's the best part. This saves no time, but he'll smile at you, so it's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to spam the meows.
He's supposed to be like locked in cutscene mode, so he won't react to your meows, but like the glitch breaks him out of that.
You could do so much in cutscenes in this game.
Uh-huh.
You can. Which we actually will use to our advantage at points in the run, where there's certain cutscenes where you can actually have full control and move during.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that with the one in flat.
Yeah.
But there's other ones we can talk about.
There
And
are
so now
more
you get a
significant ones, yeah.
How's the lore going, chat? So far, loads of people have run indoors because a cat appeared and now run outdoors again.
Hey, cats are scary. I don't know, I think mine's plotting to kill me.
I think they all are. I think that's what they do.
And you got the
Yeah.
oatmeal book. You tell all the signs. How to tell if your cat is plotting to kill you.
I have got that book, yes. I actually do have it. That's incredible.
So, this is where we can collect stuff around the map. So, for the
Yeah,
100%.
this level's gonna have some of the most collecting that we have to do.
Yep.
This level's called the slums, and there's actually 2 slums levels, so because come back here twice, they put like a ton of stuff in here.
Yeah, it's
Um,
probably the biggest hub area, if you want to call it that, of the game, where you've got a lot of open exploration in between the actual main story plot points that you're supposed to traverse through.
And as I understand it, talking to Sabiso and Arnold, who have got the 2 best PC times on this, Slums is where there's time save available. No one's really properly routed it. I mean, the routing is good. It's hard to improve on, but they're both sure there is improvement to be made on the routing somewhere in there.
Got the book pretty quickly here. This book is pretty notorious to pick up. And even some runners couldn't pick it up. Like, it glitches out because of the physics system.
When I was playing it casually, it was so hard to find.
Oh yeah, my casual playthrough, I got stuck on that one because it was hidden. I don't know where it ended up dropping, but I never saw it. I explored the hell out of that apartment, and then I'm like running around like, okay, where am I supposed to find this last one? Well, okay, so we got to follow these signs. Casually, there's some little bit of indications. There's a certain symbol at the 3 locations that you're supposed to collect the notebooks, which are needed for progression. So it's like, I knew it was supposed to be there once I figured that part out, and I'm like, I've already been in there like twice. Like, there's nothing I haven't interacted with in there. But it was just the book was buried. So the book is always in that same location. It's the same stack of books, but because it's reliant on the game's physics engine as to how it drops out when you jump off the stack of books, it can go flying and get hidden all over the apartment, and sometimes that's not the best for you.
Yeah. I only got it like stuck once in a run. And then I had to reset.
Chakrams, does the PS5 route use 3 energy drinks or 4?
No, we use 4. Because you're gonna buy the music note from the market, and you're gonna buy the memory as well. Which is all 4.
On PC, I routed in the conservation glitch, but I wonder if it doesn't even make sense on PS5 just because the route is so different.
Oh, I see.
Oh wait, you only have to get 3, and then you just go back to checkpoint. Checkpoint reset.
Yeah. There's a weird glitch you can do where certain things are saved even though you didn't get a checkpoint, and so sometimes it's memories, but not always, because that would make our lives too easy as speedrunners.
Do you agree the routing is suboptimal in Slums? I'm not saying you can fix it. I'm just saying, do you agree that it doesn't feel optimized?
Yeah, I think there's work to be done still.
Yeah, it's only been like what now?
I think
6 months.
More runners. So chat, if anybody really likes this run, we would love to have you.
Yeah, one thing I actually did for this community we won't see, which is the Midtown routing. I saved about 6 seconds, I think, in there in the end. But yeah, unlucky.
You see, is the unnecessary jumps I'm making? I'm missing my spot and I'm jumping all over the place. And we get to meet Momo.
Yeah, here we're meeting Momo, which is one of the main robots we come across through our journey. Part of a group called the Outsiders that are bent on trying to get out of this city. So basically, this city is in lockdown because of some not fully described disease or plague that happened. At one point, it was a human-inhabited city. The humans have long since passed on and basically gone extinct, but their robot companion servants remain and have created a full society and done a lot to mimic the human behaviors, which is why they're very human-like, is they're just mimicking the humans that they did once coexist with.
There's rumors about an outside world.
Yeah.
So when we look at the sky, you'll see it's actually just we're in a dome.
If you played Stray casually, Chakrams just did Slums completely out of order to how you would normally do it, because he actually collected all the notebooks first and then brought them to Momo, even though Momo is supposed to tell you to go and get the notebooks. So we just kind of already knew what we needed.
Sometime or that. Nice, I didn't get crapped here.
Yeah, casually, if you're actually following given objectives. When you first meet the Guardian, once you show him the postcard, directs you directly to Momo's apartment, which, if you followed that cue, you'd go speak to Momo and find out about the notebooks and go from there to find and collect them. But obviously, for optimal routing, we already know where the notebooks are located and go and grab them.
These barrels, if you've not played it, are scary because if you try and get the exact line where you think is the nearest point to come out of, sometimes it will roll back and you will just lose so much time.
Oh, that can happen sometimes, yeah.
Or if you just get a jump that isn't where you want, the animation of jumping off the barrel will push the barrel back a bit. So you may have had it in a good spot, but you didn't get the prompt for the jump you wanted. You jumped down instead, and that pushed the barrel back, and you have to readjust.
Yeah, that can be really annoying sometimes, yeah.
You know that Bieber won't take the jump you just took? So Bieber was the sort of the trailblazer in the game, the first glitchless world record holder. And he won't take the jump onto this yellow beam. He'll actually go up to the next block up because on the few occasions you miss it, it costs you time. He hated that jump.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I've never missed it.
I saw him post that in the Discord once. I couldn't understand it. I'm like, the setup for it's consistent. Like I've only not had that jump like once in a run.
Okay, the Zerks weren't in position here. That was really weird.
You've never had that RNG? Yeah, that's
No.
some RNG where they can just be off to the side there.
It was nice for the marathon.
This is where people playing Unrestricted don't have to go through the terrors of having to jump into that barrel when it's full of Zerks and trying to open the door at the same time as not pressing the wrong button and dying.
I guess you got to grab this memory in this category. Yeah, for the any percent runs, well, I guess unrestricted any percent, they don't even come to rooftops.
Yeah.
No.
But for glitchless,
Yeah,
yeah, we have an extremely risky strat here, which I guess you're still kind of doing, but it's not quite as intense when you jump straight into the cage with them right there. And you're trying to move the barrel forward and open the gate all at once while getting attacked nonstop.
Yeah, but because I need to get that memory, it becomes a little bit easier.
Yeah.
I'm impressed that you didn't die in the barrel. That sounds so stressful to do it without scroll wheel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I rebound everything on my controller to be able to do that, be able to spam meows as much as possible while hitting square as soon as I get close enough to the door for B12 to go and open it.
This is my favourite glitch, by the way, in the whole game. It's just so ridiculously funny to me, and I don't know why. It just amuses me every time.
So you think that you were going to take the elevator, right? But we're not.
Nope.
So watch this, guys. I don't really know what to explain with this one. You just walk up the wall. It really is that easy.
Cats are adept climbers. What can you say?
Yep.
That does seem like something that a cat would think it could do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
True.
Is now a good time for a couple donations?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
We're stuck in a bit of a scene.
Yeah.
I got a couple.
Yeah, this is a long one.
I have $20 from our very own Lorinda, who says, "Thanks for having me. Thanks for being here, Lorinda. I really appreciate that, as do we all. Thanks so much." I also have a $5 donation from Kat, who says, That was my best meow. Can I get some meows from runner and commentators in honor of Kat's donation?
Meow.
Yeah.
Le meow, le purr.
Very good, very good. And yeah, on that note, if anybody has donations to get in, go ahead and get them in. And I mean, I'm willing to meow for every donation personally. If you want to really challenge me to push the limits of my ability to imitate a feline, send in $5. It goes to a great cause. And yeah, with that, I'll give it back to the runners.
All right, so we're back in slums now. We're back in Momo's apartment. As we were talking earlier, there's 2 parts to slums. Technically, we're in slums 3 times, but there's 2 actual slums chapters where you just have free reign to explore through the slums.
I love this cutscene so much.
Yeah.
So for some reason, to move these barrels of paint, they're throwing them over the roof. And so us being a mischievous cat, we're going to mess that up.
Because we need to get in that door at the bottom, just to be clear. We need that person
Yes, it does
to
have a
open that
purpose.
door.
We're not just being jerks.
We're gonna get this music note and the memory up here before talking to Momo.
This memory is one of my favorites. It's a nice little bowl of ramen. Sticks of ram in there.
Yeah. And even something like getting that memory has some tech. Like you saw, he was standing on the ground. You're really supposed to go and stand up on the table so you can look at it, but
yeah,
we've got some speed tech there.
Do we have
something
to
we haven't
actually
pointed out.
get the musician to play the songs in this run, or just collect the music sheets?
No, we will have to have him play it as well.
Nice.
Oh, so do you use checkpoint reloading for it?
Yeah, I'm gonna use it.
Okay. PC has loadless times, but there's no load remover for console, is there?
No, I don't think so.
Console's all RTA.
Because every time you reload a checkpoint, there's some load time. So on PC, it's really great. Like, reloading checkpoints doesn't really waste a lot of time. But, like, on console, you have to think about, like, does this save time to reload the checkpoint, or are the loads too long?
The minimum amount of the songs is still long enough that, reloading checkpoint to skip the little bit that plays definitely is worth it.
So something about walking with Momo here. If I go too far away from Momo, he will just stand still and look around for me. So that's why I have to walk him.
All the way over here.
Yeah.
Then he has to think about opening or knocking on the door.
Yeah, we get two of these slow walks. We have to come here with Momo, and then later on with Seamus, we have to babysit him along the way to where we're going.
Oh, Seamus. The Marty McFly in the joke that's coming up later. With his Marty McFly jacket on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Seamus and his dad, which we will meet in a little while, are an Easter egg to the Back to the Future series, being the Doc and Marty McFly.
So something funny about that tracker I just picked up. In one of my runs, I tried to like pick up the tracker and run, and the tracker just disappeared. So
oh no!
My game got soft locked.
Yeah, I had that once, and later on in the jail once, I put down the keys for Clem, and the keys just like as Clem was picking it up, they just like launched somewhere and disappeared.
Yeah. And if you saw this right now, I just clipped through the door. That's one of the skips you can do here as well.
Yeah,
Even in glitchless, we go through that door kind of glitchy. It's really hard to define what is a glitch with that door because it's hard to go through it not glitched. So it's kind of allowed.
Yeah, when the character actually opens the door, all the collision for the door suddenly disappears, so you can pass through the door. So it did get opened organically, but we still physically go through the door because its collision just disappears at that point.
Yeah.
Got time for a couple donations?
Yeah, you can go. Yeah.
All right. I have $20 from Who the X is KT, who says, shout out to and good luck to Chakrams on his run. The mighty gang is riding with you, my man. Thank you, KT. We appreciate that a lot. Let's see. We also have $5 from Cafe Ella, who says, "Can I get a meow?" And to that, I think I can only say, "Can I get some meows from our commentators?"
Meow.
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 Beautiful music to my ears. We should get some meows in chat too. Let's get some meows going. Somebody in chat says, "Do we get 4 meows for $20?" I don't know. I don't see why not. I think
It's like a decent deal, yeah.
yeah. I think we that's the agreed upon exchange rate. So get those donations in, and we will meow. We'll keep meowing. I might not stop meowing if the donations keep coming in.
Right, just get if enough money on
No
meow for
commentary.
anybody.
Just me.
I'll have to keep meowing after I get done hosting. I'll just be walking around, just meow. It's like, no, everything's fine. I'm just hosting a speedrun. Don't worry, guys.
Still hosting.
Yeah. You can keep going with donations because this is a long cutscene now.
Yeah, you've got a really you've basically got 3 minutes of borderline cutscene here.
All right, well, let's get those $5 donations in for this meow train that is currently in the works. Keep in mind that these donations really do go to an amazing cause. Even just $5 provides education supplies for a child, which gives them the tools they need to continue their education. Even $5. For the price of 1 meow, you can provide treatment for a child with pneumonia, potentially life-saving treatment provided by our charity partner, Save the Children. And for $9, which is just a little bit less than the price of 2 meows, you can pay for a week's supply of high-nutrient peanut paste to help treat a child with severe malnutrition. Malnutrition is one of the biggest issues facing children and mothers worldwide, and Save the Children does a lot of really, really amazing work to try to combat malnutrition. They're able to do it very efficiently to a point where these smaller donations, these meow tier donations, really can make a huge difference in people's lives. So yeah, let's get those in. Let's get some meows going, and let's keep going with this amazing run of Stray.
Do it.
Couldn't have said it better.
You'll notice there that Chakrams was talking to random characters, doesn't speed up or slow anything down, it just passes the boredom while Seamus is just walking so slowly to that door.
At least I get some lore in.
Yeah, the only thing I do there is I rub against the one robot's leg and get the little love heart.
Yeah, you can do that as well. I missed it.
Hey, we got
But
our
you can
first
do it.
badge.
Yeah, this is our first badge right here, yep. And
There's
you can
6 of-
physically... I'm sorry. You can physically see it on the cat there.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a really cute touch that you actually get them, and you get to keep them. When you beat the game, you get an upgraded backpack or whatever it's called, and the badges come with you. It's
Yep.
really cute.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's gonna be at the end of the game where you finish everything, you get that backpack.
Yeah,
We'll have it for a couple minutes.
yeah, the upgraded backpacks for all the memories, is it not?
Yeah.
Yep.
So when we get that very last memory in control room, it'll change to a fancy backpack. I won't spoil it. You guys get to see it. You have to keep watching to see that. And all the badges will slowly fill in too.
One of the badges is just so random. Most of them just make sense, and there's that random police badge for no
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah, that one you just find. I mean, there's also the cat badge.
That one at
And
least
the,
is like shiny and
inside
cool
the
and
safe.
like stuff.
Yeah.
It's like somebody they did the game. They had the 5 badges. They went through it. They looked at the pack and they thought it doesn't look right with 3 on one side and 2 on the other. Let's have a 6th one. I know, random dead police guy in a building for no reason. Let's do that.
I know you like looted off his dead body. Like, okay.
The poor guy.
So yeah, lore-wise, we're on the way to the other half of that Back to the Future
Yay!
reference. We're on to Doc. Right
So,
now,
like,
trying to find
I'm
him.
yaying here because Chakrams and every other runner in existence ever usually forget to get the B12 out on this particular jump, and you're time locked as to when you can do it. And Chakrams got it out there. I'm proud.
Wow, I've never seen that barrel get sucked down here
Oh.
ever.
Wow.
Look at this
No.
barrel.
Yeah,
No,
that's
nor have I.
that's a fresh one to
Look
me
at
too.
Is that a bingo card if somebody says, I've never seen?
It's
Doing
just
the
trying to
marathon?
mess you up on the marathon.
That's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
rare to happen, guys. So rare.
That is definite marathon meme right there.
Another memory here.
So as we're collecting these memories, B12 is... These are memories mostly for B12 and the lore of what happened here, because B12, as far as B12 is aware right now, is just an AI that worked with a scientist. B12 doesn't really... has been stuck inside a computer for centuries at this point, I believe, and doesn't really necessarily quite recall everything and what exactly happened. They're a little hazy on some of the details because it's just been so long of no interaction.
So we're helping B12 remember all these things by collecting the memories. And this is one too. And so we just grab this memory in 100% while Doc is slowly walking up the stairs.
Yeah, to save time.
Yeah, something that's insane to me is the difference between the times for 100% and not 100% is only sort of 7 or 8 minutes.
They're really close.
Because a lot of them are picked up along the way. But the routing is completely different, or very different at least, especially in slums.
Oh, no! What?
No!
What?
Crash. Ouch.
We got a crash? Are you serious? Okay, we can reload the save. It's fine, I think.
Yeah, luckily this game has autosave.
And most of the checkpoints are fairly generous.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
And Clem is
that
put in the
almost
room,
gave me
so
a
we're
heart
fine.
attack.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All
we're
right,
back in.
marathon luck. We got it all out of the way. It's going to be great now.
Yeah, I mean, Chakrams has been streaming this game, sort of practicing to de-rust for like the last week, and that hasn't happened at all, or anything similar to it at all, obviously.
There we go.
Need to put the
Wow.
fuse in. So here, what's going on is you have to go and fix the power box by putting a new fuse in so that Doc can power his magical Zerk destroying light bulb. That's what he's been working on out here.
It's all gone quiet from the streamer because you've got to mash. At this point on the PlayStation, you can't just cheat with your little scroll wheel.
There we go.
No,
Hey, we made it.
It's to the point where I go right in my runs just because it's a slightly safer route. It's like 1 or 2 seconds slower. It's not too much slower, but it's like I know I'm not going to lose my run there.
Angelus also goes right there.
And so now we're going to be able to use the Zerk killing light.
Yeah, so we
Because
can
B12
actually
has been
finally
modded.
fight the Zerks now. There is a little glimpse here. They explode.
Ta-da!
So yeah, they're sensitive to UV light, so that's what we're doing there, and they're protected from that in this city because, as we mentioned earlier, we're encased in a dome. So the Zerks kind of just have free reign for the most part. And the lore behind the Zerks, I can't remember exactly where it's touched on, so I can't really like fit it into the exact perfect spot in the story, but they're basically an mutated version of a bacterium that was created by the humans to get rid of all their garbage since they were stuck in the city and it was starting to pile up. So they're meant to just eat all kinds of waste, and they've mutated to the point where they are running around just eating everything they can in sight, just particularly anything that moves.
It's gonna be
Speedy
like
barrel?
the speedy barrel.
Oh,
So you're normally not supposed to do this.
that's such a cool glitch.
Yeah, but I think the game like has two states for the cat. A state where you're inside the barrel or outside the barrel. But if you like quickly go inside, then go outside the barrel into another barrel, it thinks you're outside the barrel, so you go running and get the barrel with you.
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't seen this part of the game in months.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Because on PC Unrestricted, both categories, we just skipped this part. So this is gonna be a refresher for me.
It's interesting to me. Every PlayStation player stays inside there, and every PC player goes outside there. I don't know if there's a functional difference in the way the game runs, but yeah.
Oh no, I run out.
Oh, you went out? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I actually go up the right side and go straight out the door and get the Zerks off dock first before even dealing with the ones that are spawned already inside.
Yeah, that's basically what I do, pretty much. I spent ages trying to get in through the window and back around without any Zerks having to be killed, but I couldn't make it work.
Would one of you want to quickly summarize like what the big differences are between the PC and PS5 versions of the run, if any of you have run both or watched both?
The biggest thing with okay, there used to be a glitch in both of them called sleep paralysis, but it was patched out on all versions. But PC has a beta branch on Steam that lets us down patch it so we can still use sleep paralysis. And sleep paralysis is an out-of-bounds glitch you can do in Slums 1 to skip all the way to sewers, which is like 4 chapters ahead. And so it's just really unfortunate that it was patched out like right after it was discovered. So all the console runs are done without it, using there's other strats available. Like you saw, there's been other out of bounds and things that are being used. So it's kind of like you get to see different strats. It's not that there aren't, other things you could do.
And after this run, I highly recommend anyone in chat go check out a PC run, because sleep paralysis is a wild glitch. It's really fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's also incredibly hard to do. Like everybody who's tried to do it comes to the Discord and says, "How do I do it? Am I pointing at the right place?" Like, yep, but not at the right angle. Sorry.
You have to be on the right sub-pixel and have the right angle. It's crazy. Like, I'm so impressed by the people who figured it out. Like, it was a whole team of people in the Discord who worked on this for like weeks to get it to work. It was so cool.
Yeah, it's insane.
What we're doing here is we're giving the musician all the stuff we've collected, all the songs we've selected, and the checkpoint reset is just to stop the song having to play all the way out, because they're quite long.
Yeah, we use a reloading checkpoint to skip it.
2 of the songs are really good, though. Like, they are absolute bangers.
I was just going to say that was like my favorite thing about... I haven't finished my playthrough of Stray. I'm like an hour or 2 in, and I just like sat listening to some of the songs for a while.
Yeah, some of the songs are really good.
I can't remember the titles offhand, but the one you collect just outside of Clem's apartment, which is on if you're facing away from the Guardian, the upper left side apartment that you go to. There's the one inside Clem's apartment, and there's one just on a balcony outside of Clem's apartment. Those 2 in particular are gotta be my 2 favorites that you end up giving the musician here.
We got another badge, so now we have 2 badges out of 6.
Yeah, we got
most of the badges are at the end of the game. And so this right here, this part is the part that you can skip to using the PC exclusive sleep paralysis glitch.
Yeah, you can skip all the way to chapter 8. And another thing as well, like it's used for 100% on PC as well.
Yeah.
Because it actually unlocks the other chapters as well. You can like go to the main menu and choose chapter 4 and 5 and 6 as well.
So it's 7. You can just like do things out of order that way.
Yep.
This route's really cool though. Like I didn't expect you to do the music sheets after doing all the slums parts, but I guess it makes sense because like that's when you're going over there. So that's really cool.
Yeah, it's at the end of where you're going.
Got time for a quick donation?
Yeah, now's a very, very good time, yeah.
Yes.
All right, I have $5 from Annie Cam, who says, "Go Chakrams, you got this." Let's hear and see those supportive meows.
Thank you so much, Anika. Meow.
Meow.
Meows in chat.
That's a good one.
Also, thanks, who's the key XKT earlier as well for the donation.
Yes, thanks so much for those donations. Let's keep them coming. With that donation, we are at $6,555 raised so far in the marathon. That means we are just over $100 away from hitting that $6.6 thousand checkpoint, which would put us 2/3 of the way on pace to raise $10,000 over 3 days of Speed Souls Charity Marathon 2022. Let's get those donations in. It's for a great cause, and yeah, keep supporting the runners, keep supporting the charity, and we'll keep meowing if you do it.
You heard him, chat. You heard that total. Someone's got to get 111 and get that all sixes up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of music, though, this has got to be one of my favorite tracks in the entire game. Like the percussion and the like synth drone that happens during this is just so good.
There's so much good soundtrack in this game, which is really rare for me to say because I tend not to. But I think the chase coming up in, I don't know, 10 minutes time is one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, the entire sewers, like the soundtrack for the game is stellar, period. Like it was one of the biggest surprises for me. Like I mentioned before we started this, I'd been following this game like since its early development and conception, when the devs first like just shared a little bit of like, hey, we're going to be making a game where you traverse as a cat through a city, since like 2016. But I was not expecting like such a memorable banger of a soundtrack, and there's some good ones, but Sewers in particular, all the tracks that play through here.
I like how they had so many different stuff going. Like the music in Elliot's place is just so goofy. It's like, and then they have
oh my gosh.
serious
Okay,
stuff
so Elliot's place is where you do sleep paralysis. And honestly, I've started to hate that song.
I had to see it associated that. That's
over and over again.
Yeah.
No, it's a good song though. I like it at first.
Learning sleep paralysis. And then 30 seconds every run pointing at a pixel. Amazing.
I was surprised, like all the radios and stuff that you find around, you can like change the music that's on them. It's really awesome.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not an achievement actually to change like all of them or something.
Oh yeah, just the TV is.
Yeah, just the TV flipping all the channels on there. That one is.
Yeah.
There are, I think, a few people who've done all achievement runs.
Yeah, they stop at the end when you sleep at the end.
Yeah.
Just so you don't have to wait for an hour, because that would just be stupid. But yeah, that's where that run stops. But yeah, I've seen it done.
Yeah. I guess the achievement for sleeping an hour is too much.
But you can sleep in the final location, so they don't make you finish the last few seconds of the run. They just say when you press the sleep button there, we now know you can do this game, so you just add an hour basically. I think this is where we learn about the stuff that previously discussed about why the Zerks exist. These memories.
This section is really creepy as well.
Yeah. The first time, well, we're about to come up to the giant eyeballs. Get ready, chat.
I talked to Chakrams about this on stream. Like, sewers is horrible because there's no time to be gained by doing something clever, but you can lose so much time by doing something slightly wrong.
Yeah. there is a skip called Water Run that's coming up, but I'm not gonna use it because it needs some pretty precise lineup to get it. And even if you get it, there's a chance it's not gonna work.
Yep.
So yeah, it's pretty risky to do. But we're not gonna do it for another reason as well, so you can actually watch this cutscene. Yeah.
So you can see the really creepy cutscene.
Yeah, I love this. I love how all the irises just dilate, the pupils dilate on all the eyes too, as it's about to like dump out a bunch more zerks on you.
Yeah, here's a sneak peek of the eyes.
Yeah, really creepy.
I even named this split Resident Evil. In my,
behave.
I had to go for the pun. Yeah, I went with that for my split names for this one.
Yeah, so it's over here you can do water run, but you get different estimates depending on who you ask. I think about 70% of the time is the best estimate that I've seen for how often it actually works.
So it's not usual for me to reload the checkpoint here, but I do it to keep it safe. Because I can die easily here.
When in there have been some different control schemes that we've tried for PC, and so when I didn't have Meow bound to scroll, I would do the same thing because like it's just way too easy to die to the Zergs here.
Yeah, especially this part.
I don't reload checkpoint there, but I go left first, and on the left-hand platform, I go right around the left-hand side, which means they don't spawn until you come back. So that wastes like 3 seconds rather than take the risk of dying.
Interesting.
Right.
I actually take a pretty straight line through here, and I've only ran into trouble one run, and it was completely my fault. Like, I just messed up my own strats. But, yeah, my trick is basically just aiming B12 down directly on top of you. There's consistent spots. There's consistent spots where you're going to run into a pile of Zerks, and just having B12 directly on top of you, just get a couple little bursts, and you're in the clear. They're just gonna get rid of them all, and you're not gonna get hit at all.
Yeah, my time's tight enough now that I can't really be throwing 3 seconds away anymore, but, yeah. Especially as I'm about 3 seconds behind you, I think.
Yeah, the big eyeball. I'm surprised everyone has a strat for that part.
Here we go.
So now, unfortunately, B12 can no longer use the purple. It's called the defluxer, actually. I don't think we ever named it. We can no longer use the defluxer to kill the Zerks because B12 used it a little bit too much there to save us, and now we don't have it anymore, so we just have to run away from them.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part of the whole Back to the Future Easter egg. Yeah, it's called the defluxer after, the flux capacitor.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really went in, because there's not many sort of call-outs in this game, but they really went in on that one.
There's actually quite a few here and there, but most of them are like super brief, just like one line of dialogue flash by. That one's a big, like, in-depth one. They're major plot point characters. You interact several times. There's several parts to it.
Yeah, it's really weird. Even the clocks on the wall in Seamus's place is just, the whole thing is just set up that way. A lot of the characters in jail, if you get the chance to speak to them, have little one-liners like you were talking about there.
Yeah, and there's one of the street vendors in Midtown where there's some Skyrim Easter egg in the dialogue.
Oh
there.
yeah.
Oh, there's also Skyrim Easter egg in Ant Village, one of the people at the very bottom.
Oh yeah, right. There's one there too.
Anyways, this is Ant Village. Speaking of Ant Village.
Yeah.
Does anybody know why it's called Ant Village?
No.
I have no idea. No. One of my buddies is Anthony Caliber from Last of Us speedrun fame, but so I just like ran with references to him for it. But in terms of like the actual game lore as to why they called this Ant Village, I'm completely lost.
Should we talk about the lore here? Should we give spoilers?
Yeah.
Nope. Go for it. Go for it.
Chat, do you want spoilers? So this is the moment when B12 realizes that all of everything that he assumed about himself is maybe not true. So he sees that pod at the bottom of Ant Village, and he realizes that he was actually human once before he put himself into the computer. And so this is the arc of him dealing with that realization and like coming to terms with the fact that now all that's left are robots.
We had to ruin the game on the robots twice there.
Yeah, they're playing mahjong and we just kind of destroy it for them.
Yeah. And you get the catastrophe, I think, achievement for it.
Yeah. And when you're playing the game like first time through as well, B12 actually sulks, like just goes and hides and says, no, I don't want to talk to him while I process all this. But if you're speedrunning, you can usually avoid that, or you can have an accident to trigger it if you're not careful.
We gotta grab these plants because we have to get a badge. We need all of the... there's 3 different colors of flowers, and Chakrams is gonna bring them up to the gardener at the top to get a new badge.
The really pushy gardener who says, well, thanks for that one. Have you got any more?
Yeah.
Yeah, their dialogue's a little rude about it, and it's like, I'm doing you a favor, what?
You only got me the purple ones? I need the yellow ones as well, or something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, we're not good enough.
We're not gardeners, we're a cat.
Yeah. Could you find more?
And now we have another badge.
She gives us a nice badge. She's forgiven.
We're about to be done with Ant Village. It's a very short chapter.
Yeah.
With a very long 12 seconds, I think it is, just blackness in a moment for no reason at all.
Yeah, it is a strange one because we're stuck in a bit of dialogue anyway. The game could use that as a load, so you can't even like go with like, hey, that's a load.
Yeah.
So we're going into Midtown now. Where
the whole like general plot of what we're doing here is we're trying to find the other outsiders, and so the last outsider that we haven't found yet is Cleb, and we're going to go and find her in Midtown. That's why we're kind of making this journey.
Yeah. So I would say this Midtown section is the one with the most glitches and stuff we're gonna do.
Yeah, it's got some pretty big glitches.
This is sort of the second major area apart from slums for me. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one also kind of serves as a bit of a hub. There's a lot of different things you can do, casually exploring and just soaking in the environment.
This is another one where I feel like we could do some better routing. Not a lot better, like you were saying earlier. Like, I don't think it could be like... It's not like we're overlooking something major, but I think that there's just some minor tweaks we could do.
Cat badge now? Got the cat badge from this safe.
Yeah, I'm very proud of my routing in the glitchless category for Midtown for the 80%.
Alright, here's the first major glitch. It has a few different names, like Hat Skip, Cat in the Hat Skip. But what we're doing is we're going to get into the hat shop early. And the way that it works is you see Chakrams is running at this grate and doing some spins. And what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to, like, at a later point in the story, you get access to it. There we go. You're supposed to go in through the front door, and then from the inside, you're supposed to open that up. But if you get at just the right angle, you can hit the trigger to open it from the outside. And so now we have the hat early, which will make a little bit more sense later.
Yeah, it's really, really important as well, because all of the routing for the glitchless involves waiting for a stupid person to just do nothing for 10 seconds while they put a box on the floor. And you can't route it any way so that you arrive at exactly the right time. You just always have to waste time. So, yeah, it's a hugely important glitch.
Yeah, I messed around with that. I am incredibly impressed by Chakrams right now because, like, doing that on PS5, I could not. Oh, yeah. I couldn't even pull it off once.
It is. That setup is extremely inconsistent on PC when you're using the scroll wheel, but on PS5, you just have to be mashing and hoping that you get just the right angle at the right time.
Yeah. I guess it's all about the analog spin. I'm pretty consistent at it, at least. So yeah, it's all about the analog.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because you have the stick to use instead of keyboard.
Yeah. So you like have to get like a really slow circle, then a faster one at the end. Like you do a circle motion. You start slow and then speed up at the end. That's how it works. And that's how I at least do it.
And now we found Clementine.
Yeah,
she's
this
gonna
is-
want to attack
everybody's
us.
favourite character until she's not.
Can I push this out for later?
Just a little bit of optimal routing while you're waiting for her to walk over there.
Nice, she got there before she finished walking as well.
Yeah, that was good. And so she tells us that we need to go and get the battery from the factory, but to do that we have to... Well, actually, first we have to break all these cameras. This was on purpose. Chakrams was purposely breaking all the cameras, not just because he's playing as a cat. Although a cat would just do that for fun. We gotta break the cameras because those robots want to dance, I think is the story
Yeah,
that's
the
going on.
gang of robots don't want to be spied on by the police while they're dancing.
And they give us
God,
their
And we wanted
mixtape.
their mixtape, so it's a fair swap.
Gotta rage against the Meow Sheen.
Oh, make him stop.
And there is most useless badge ever. The police
Yeah,
badge.
here's the police
Terrible.
badge. Here's just the corpse of a policeman. We're gonna loot the police badge off of it.
Something I didn't know until I played this game like 70 times is that if a jump is useful, it's got one of those ribbons off the box.
Oh no.
So the box with the ribbons are useful jumps, and the other boxes aren't.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't say I ever knew that one either.
interesting.
I know this is pretty loud.
It'll go away fast, don't worry.
Okay.
And I always remember it there because 2 of those boxes haven't got the ribbons on, but all the rest of the game, the useful boxes have.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yes. I certainly didn't, but it's definitely true. Well, I'm pretty sure it's true, having sort of looked at it since I learned it.
There we go.
So the whole point of getting the vest and the hat is that we have to give it to Blazer because Blazer's going to pretend to be a worker and smuggle us into the factory. Maybe during
Well-
this weird cutscene thing, we could do like a donation before we get into like the really tough factory stuff.
Yeah, we can do so.
Oh, you know what?
Mm.
I think
This
we're
meowing
cool,
noise in
buddy.
this box, all good to me. Yep, nothing wrong here.
Yeah.
And so this is fine. Everything's fine. And that's how you infiltrate a factory, guys.
So we've got robots, they'll stop this cat.
This is a really scary part.
Yeah, that's why I wait a little bit, because you can die really easily here.
One
So
shot
Chakrams
from
there.
these guys will kill you.
Has given up 1 second roughly to save potentially 20 if he gets shot. It's a fairly safe run, the 1 second, but again, I'm not going to argue with that decision. I know you said in practice that's what you were going to do.
Yeah.
Because that thing can kill you and there's no control over it, just sometimes just kills you for no reason.
Yeah.
So over here we have to grab the workers' keys because this gets us our last badge. It is the last badge, I think.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
nickel badge.
So we give him the keys and then he gives us a badge in return. And there we go. Now we have all the badges. Now we just need all the memories so we can get that fancy harness.
Nice. And we didn't aggro any robots there. That's really good.
Yeah. It can be really frustrating because sometimes, even if you do everything right, if you just, like, I don't know, the robot just decides that it hates you that day, and then it follows you all the way over here and it can kill you over here.
This
Absolutely
puzzle
not.
solve was discussed as a potential, like, should it be allowed in glitchless or not? And it was discussed as, no, this is game as intended. It's just a second solution.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I decided not to go with it. I did my homework on it, and it's such a minimal time save for the chance of like your angle being just off and losing a ton. So it's like, no thank. But it is a neat little, I guess.
Hopefully I get it here.
Bit of a
You
skip.
definitely have to at least go for it on stream. You'd be, yeah, I'd laugh at you. At least try.
Okay, try again.
What you're supposed to do is put the 2 little robots on the side ones
Got
and
it.
then move the barrel forward. But there we go. If you're fast, you can
grab
just do it like that.
Yeah, you grab it as it's going up. So you basically grabbed the factory's main source of power right there. So the factory is all shut down now.
There's a
I don't
useless
even know,
jump
like,
in
what
that
do
bucket.
they
that just-
do there? What does the factory do?
I think it collects the garbage and throws it out. I think.
So it's
makes
a waste.
boxes and shoots cats.
Yeah.
Delivers cats.
To be perfectly honest, I don't even know if the robots would necessarily know what they're doing. Like, half of their society is just based off of mimicking what humans did. So it's like humans went to work and did things, so we go to work and do things.
Right.
Yeah.
And lag horribly when our battery is stolen for no reason whatsoever. It must be the game must process where every single one of those sort of things is the whole time you're in there, and then when it all shuts down, it has to actually change all of the game states or something at the same time.
Oh, what?
I can't think of any other reason it lags.
Oh,
Oh no!
Oh,
I didn't get up the stairs. I don't know how I
Ouch.
missed that.
That's okay. At least there's checkpoints.
Yeah.
Very heart-wrenching death animation on
It
the
is,
cat.
though.
yeah.
You want
Yeah,
to
it-
avoid those.
It's one
just
of the
'cause
worst
they're
ones.
sad.
Like, the Zerk one, you generally don't really get to see much because you're usually covered in them anyway, so you don't even see the cat.
Mm.
But yeah, that one is just like you just watch the cat get shot down. It's like, oh, why did I do this? I'm sorry, kitty.
At least we get a glimpse of the death animation in this game.
Yeah, whenever you think you've got this game, like, oh great, this is a cute game, it's got a habit all the way through of just reminding you, no, this isn't just a cute cat game, I'm afraid, sorry.
We're back at Clem's apartment here.
And we're about to get some other amazing music once we get through this dialogue.
So she's not here, and she leaves clues around to tell us where she went so that we can find her. Because I guess what we kind of skipped is that she's wanted by the police. And she doesn't want other people to be able to figure out where she is. And
Gonna
this
hide
one
here.
right here is evil.
Yeah, we have to
There we go.
hide unless it will actually shoot us.
It
Yeah, so
just
walking
waits
against the
for you
bar.
outside Clem's apartment.
Yeah.
There's
Sniper.
4 ways of dealing with it, and that's one of the 4, and I think it's the best one to show on stream as well, where you just walk back to the bar and it can't see you anymore.
It just can't see you anymore.
Yeah, you just wait that split second for it to de-aggro.
We're coming up into the nightclub now, and this is our second major skip of the game is gonna happen here.
Yes, this one's really cool. So a skip that's used in any of the unrestricted categories is called cat jam, which isn't very descriptive, but what you do is you it's a way to get out of bounds here. But on 100% we do an extra glitch so that it works right, and it's a wrong warp that we do using the reload checkpoint. So you saw Chakrams jumped into the window and then reloaded checkpoint, and now we're back in Clem's apartment, but now he's going to reload checkpoint again, and we're going to be back in club, but we're going to be inside the club, not just in the window. And so this is very hard for the game to deal with because you never activated the window closing trigger, which means that you can still go back into the window. You're not supposed to be able to get back into the window after you enter club.
Yeah, the whole
What's
point
our
of
strategy?
it was to stop that from happening. That's the whole point of why that part of the game is there. Whichever clever person found out how to get around it did that, yeah.
And so this next trick is called cat jam. Please put your cat jams in chat.
Yeah. So you reload the checkpoint one more time to like skip going up this elevator. And this is the cat jam right here.
You're not supposed to be able to jump back out of this window because as soon as you get into the window, it actually deloads the rest of Midtown. But there's this one trigger on the left side that you can just barely get. And that's what we use to, yep, just jump right back out. And then everything else is just gone because you're not supposed to be here. And so once Midtown is deloaded, it loads jail, which is the next part. And so we can just like fall right into jail by going out of bounds here.
No, I keep messing it up. There we go.
Honestly, there we go. Just fall. Welcome to jail.
Yeah, this is the next chapter. We're supposed to get captured and sent here into the jail, but we can just skip into it.
And because we did this skip, B12 was never taken away from us, so that lets us do some other cool stuff too.
Yeah, this is where things get crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So interrupt you. You carry on because yeah, the double B12 stuff's really interesting.
This whole next plot is all about rescuing B12 because he was taken from you and put into like solitary confinement, but we still have B12.
So you see, Clem now doesn't have the dialogue because we're not supposed to have B12 here, so you can't understand what she's saying.
B12 usually does all the translating.
So this is the notorious key. It can actually glitch out of the game and softlock. But luckily it didn't. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I've literally hit that key with my tail flicking round there before and flicked it across the room and lost it.
So
and then Clem is notorious for bugging out.
You can talk to Clem here to actually skip the animation of her looking around. So it saves a little bit of time as well. So
it's still interesting to me that you can talk with her.
Yeah, it's insane. She still has she still has the talking prompt on her, so you can talk to her as well.
I'm always nervous to talk to her too much because like I know there's different soft locks you can get here and I don't fully understand what causes them. I mean, nobody fully understands.
No, we've tried.
Yeah.
So I'm scared to talk to her too much. Like I know like that skip is very important to talk to her the first time, but like she'll just get stuck places sometimes and stop moving.
Yeah, she came in a straight line here, which usually means she won't get stuck at the top of the next stairs. I'm not going to guarantee anything, but yeah, usually she goes to the other room first if she's going to get stuck there later. And if that makes no sense to you, join the club.
Yeah, even in glitchless, when you're not doing anything out of the ordinary here, Clem can just softlock for no reason.
Okay, she stood
just
up
for fun.
We didn't get the softlock. She can actually like just stay down there and not move at all.
So now we're going to rescue the friend, and as has been pointed out, we already have B12, but we're going to rescue the other B12.
Yeah, unfortunately you can't just skip all this just by having B12. The game still wants you to go and rescue B12.
Yeah. There is like a cutscene skip here, this cutscene, but as the other softlocks, nobody has figured out how to do it consistently.
Yeah.
It's just really random.
The only time I ever got it, I actually got teleported back anyway. So
oh really?
It didn't actually like save any time, yeah.
Oh no.
It was just during practice. Obviously I run glitchless, so I wouldn't be able to use it in a run, but you don't use the meow strat on this, eh?
Yeah, I don't use it.
This is where we talked earlier about cutscenes where you can move. This is the main one that's really interesting.
Oh, you can also die during this cutscene, and it's so frustrating. Anyways, you can run all like you were saying, you can run all the way to B12 there.
Beautifully done.
Yeah, normally you're supposed to still be in that room where you hit the switch, and you have to stealthily get yourself to B12. But as we just saw, run through the cutscene, and we're already at B12 by the time the cutscene ends, and we don't have to sneak past any of the sentinels.
Who needs stealth when you can use the power of cutscenes? You can actually open this door before, since you already have B12, you can open the door, but if you haven't rescued B12, then it just... nothing happens, and I think there's also the potential to soft lock.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's some soft lock. They're interacting with the door before the expected dialogue happens.
I've been soft locked there twice on good runs when I don't even know what I did. So yeah, definitely can happen.
That is pretty loud. Oh, we got it.
Oh, nice. That's a little bit of an early jump into onto her head before she crouches.
Yeah.
I think I've only gotten it like once, so that was.
And they
awesome.
saved all of the hardest time saves or time losses, whichever way you are optimistic or pessimistic, till the end of jail, until the end of the game. The next three things, these two sentinels and the truck, all vital for a good time.
So this part is really,
Nice.
really scary, because you have to alert the robots and then trap them into these rooms. So you have to risk going around their lasers and stuff like that.
And the problem with the next one is that you can go too quickly and one of them doesn't get in the room in time, so you really have to take your life in your hands in the next part. So
Yeah, you need to aggro them at the perfect times in sequence. You need to get the one in the middle aggroed fully on you first before the second one gets full notice on you.
We got it. Oh, this is always nerve-wracking, man.
Awesome.
beautiful,
That was
Nice.
great.
absolutely
I had
perfect.
to dodge the first lasers a little bit. I had to strafe.
Jail doesn't have
You
a
had-
lot of route differences between 100% and any percent. There was just that one memory that you saw Chakrams pick up, and that's it.
Yeah.
I just want to report really quick that my real life cat named Princess Potato has climbed onto my keyboard and is currently watching the speedrun on my monitor.
Oh, let's go.
Well, hello, Princess Potato.
So whatever our view count is right now, it's actually +1 for Princess Potato right now.
Right, nerve-wracking moment for Chakrams here, because when you set this alarm off in a minute, you run around the corner and you can get on this truck early,
which I
rather
did.
than having to dodge the sentinels. It's a big time save if we hit it.
Yeah. We have to do it another time now. Okay, let's see if we get it.
I like how it's only when you open the big door that they realize somebody's escaping.
Yeah.
I think I got it.
Yeah.
No, I didn't
good.
get it. I
Oh.
dodged the lasers now.
So basically,
Come on,
as
jump.
we did, you have to get really tight in that corner, and you'll get a prompt for a fraction of a second that you hit, and you get on this truck all the way right near the start. But
Yeah, you get the prompt just before it's going to enter the tunnel, and it saves,
Yeah.
what is it, like 22 seconds?
Yeah, it saves a lot of time.
apparently, it's only 12. Somebody timed it the other day. I thought it was a lot more. I thought it was 15 or 20, but somebody put in a decent amount of time testing it. Apparently, it's only 12 seconds. Because I'm with you. I just said 22 was far closer to the number. I haven't checked they're working, but it's somebody who's regular on the Discord who knows what they're doing. So.
I hit that one pretty consistently, so I haven't actually had to worry about that in a long time.
I always
But
get
yeah,
it
when I
consistently,
first got it, I think it was around that much time save, and I don't think I had anywhere else that I saved enough time to make up
I'm
the
with
difference.
you. I
Yeah.
agree with that. Was my experience too.
I always get it consistently
Oh,
in
that's
my
a
runs.
huge raid. Oh my.
Huh?
Wow, that's a lot of people. Welcome, everybody.
Big raid for
Yo,
the stream.
welcome.
3,000
Wow.
people.
What's up, Dist? Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much
Oh,
for that raid,
welcome,
dude. We
Dist.
appreciate it. To all of our recent arrivals, welcome to Speed Souls Charity Marathon 2022. We are nearing the tail end. Tail end, I guess that wasn't supposed to be a pun, but here we are. Of Stray 100% Unrestricted. Coming up next, we have a run of Pokemon. And after that, the hits keep coming. We've got Sekiro today, Resident Evil, couple of Halo games, our old favorite Dark Souls. And yeah, that's all coming up, so stick around. And thanks again for that raid, Dust. Really appreciate it. Welcome in.
Do you want to get a donation in? There's like this long subway ride. I think
Yeah.
might be a good time
This is a pretty long cutscene here.
before the very end.
Sure, I can just I can orientate our new viewers. We are raising money for a really, really great charity called Save the Children. They do a lot of work to fight malnutrition and to support disadvantaged children and mothers all around the world. If you type, let's see, we have a few different commands where you can get some more info on the charity. They do really great work. They are very efficient, very transparent. And all of your donations go straight to them. It all goes directly to support the charity's activities. Even something as small as $5 can treat pneumonia, provide nutrition, and as you can see, we've already raised $6,500, which is really, really incredible and making a huge difference already. So let's get those donations in, show some love for the rest of this Stray run, and yeah, I think it looks like we're back into the action. So I'll pass it back to Chakrams, Lorinda, Passere, and Satori.
Yeah,
Straight
so this
into
is a
fun
fun
glitch.
trick called Catracel, because you know we have to have the cat puns in there.
Yeah. This was the very first skip we discovered in this game.
And a surprisingly easy one to pull off. Like, you guys, from just watching that, you could go home and boot up the game and do that skip first try.
But we're about to get the fancy harness.
There
We have
it
all the
is.
memories and all the badges. We've reached 100%. We just have to finish the game now.
There we go.
Look at that shiny rainbow iridescent.
We are a shiny cat.
One of the most frustrating sections, these keyboards.
Yes.
Should
Yeah.
be easy, but somehow isn't.
If you step on the keyboard, it'll either turn off or turn on, and so you have to make
Okay,
sure
we
that you
got it.
only step on the ones that are off. Yes.
That was super good.
Yeah. That was smooth. So this is like the whole sequence for opening up the city. That's why we have to open all these locks up. Because if you missed the description earlier, this is a giant domed city. It's completely blocked off from the world.
Blind cutscene movement coming up, which is always entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And,
Chakrams is going to try to get from... Yep, there you go. There goes the cat.
No.
Oh, that camera right there.
Yeah.
That was good, actually. You got all the way on top as well. You got the jump.
Yeah.
Really nice.
And we do have another sad cutscene coming up. I'm sorry, everybody. There's the beginning sad cutscene and there's the end sad cutscene.
It's a shame we haven't got splits on this, actually, because this is a really fast control room.
Yeah, this has been great.
Yeah. I've been practiced this a little bit yesterday.
Yeah, you nailed the cutscene. You nailed the terminals.
Yeah, as you can see from all the smoke and sparks on B12, hacking all these terminals to get the roof unlocked here is overloading the little robot B12's loaded in's circuitry.
Oh, that was funny. The badges were still there after the harness was gone.
Yeah. And we get the final cutscene of the game. Such a great cutscene. I will let you guys see it.
Yeah, and if you're playing this casually and you're not running for the exit after it, you can stand and watch it for 10, 15 minutes while the whole city slowly unlocks.
Yeah, it's a long time.
When I'd finished this game like 10,000 times, I actually went on Twitch and sort of watched people finish it when I could see they were getting towards the end, just to see different reactions. And the number of people who just sleep here for 20 minutes before even just wanting to move because it's so depressing.
Yeah.
But they tend to go to the window afterwards and watch the whole thing slowly unlock, and it's really cool.
And the soundtrack here is really good as well.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you get a great overview of all the parts that you've been through. Not just like in the cinematic itself where it's showing you here, but when you look through the window, you can actually see like what area was the rooftops, what area was Midtown. You can see every single section of the city that you traverse through in your journey.
I have a question for you guys while we're kind of watching this cinematic recap.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm curious. So a lot of times watching speedruns in a marathon, you can see that the runners, that you guys are so comfy with the run that it almost looks like everything is executed just kind of almost like secondhand nature kind of thing. And I'm curious what parts of the run were the most challenging to get to that level at? Like which parts were the trickiest to master? What are the most reset heavy parts that we've seen so far in the run?
Yeah, I would say the most difficult one was the head skip, the one where we get the hatchet to get into the shop and get the head. That one is pretty tough to get consistent at. And the other one is cat jam skip. Sometimes that skip can like take you 2 minutes and it doesn't work, and it's reset heavy. Okay, time is going to be really close now. As soon as the screen fades out, it's gonna be time.
Unfortunately, the catwalk's really slow at this end part, but...
Yeah.
It's right at the top of this last staircase.
And time.
Yay!
Woo! GG's.
Nice
awesome.
run.
GG.
Well within estimate.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing job.
130-ish. That was awesome.
Yes, great run, Chakrams. Thanks so
Yeah,
much for
like
the great commentary, Lorinda, Passere, and Satori. And thanks so much to everybody who donated. Like I said, it all goes to a really, really great cause. It's really special that we're able to all come together and do all this. As we close out Stray, I have one very special donation to read, which is I have $100 from Peanut, who says, "Cat Jam, the hero." Thank you so much, Peanut. That's very generous. You are the MVP.
Thank you so much.
Amazing.
Thank you, thank you.
And a meow. Yeah.
Runner, commentators, any final shout outs or anything you guys want to say before we go into a quick intermission?
Yeah, I have some shout outs here. Shout out to the Mighty Bill Discord gang. Thank you so much for all the support here. I see you in chat, every single one of you. Mighty Bill is the one who got me into speedrunning, so big shout out to the Mighty Bill. And big shout out as well to the Streets of Rage 4 community. That's like my first speedrun game. And I can't forget the speedrun community for Stray as well. Shout out to them. Shout out to everyone who helped discover routes, glitches, skips, whatever it is that helped make the speedrun today. Thank you so much. And thank you again to the Speed Source community for having me today and for the great cause that we're doing this for. And to my beautiful commentators that joined me today, thank you so much. I couldn't have done it without you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, I've had a great time. Thank you. It was great.
Indeed. Thank you all.
This was really fun.
All right. Thanks again, guys. And congrats on that amazing run, Chakrams. We are going to go to a very quick intermission while we switch over to Nerd Squared running Pokemon Shining Pearl, any percent, no out of bounds. That one's going to be really cool. And I'm excited. And so, yeah, I think that's probably it for Stray. Thanks again, everybody. And don't go anywhere.